Hi everyone, my name is Grace Brown, and this is what led me to be a Bonner at Sewanee, the University of the South. I'm from a small town in central Alabama called Maplesville. There's not much there with a population of 651 people, and like many other small rural communities in the South, it has continuously faced a multitude of challenges. The median income of the town is $29,500, which has resulted in a lack of social programs, and many individuals struggle with substance abuse, including my mother. In retrospect, I come from a fairly non-traditional family. I'm the product of both my parents' second marriage and have two older half-siblings on my mother's side, who are now both in their late 30s. My sister Miranda and my brother Derek moved out when I was around 4. Thus, I faced all the challenges that came with my mom's disease alone. However, this caused me to want to achieve something that was not common within my small community, which was a bachelor's degree, as only 6% of Maplesville's population currently holds one. I researched different boarding schools and applied to several different ones across the Southeast. I was able to get a scholarship to the #1 private school in Alabama, Indian Springs School, and began attending there my freshman year as a boarding student. While the school was only an hour away from my little town, it felt like a world separated me from where I came from. These difficulties persisted as my junior year, the pandemic locked us all away. While my fellow classmates were at home with Wi-Fi and parents who attended college, I was in Maplesville, where at the time Wi-Fi did not reach. Through a very finicky hotspot and more than a dozen breakdowns, I made it out of my junior year alive. However, as I entered my senior year, I felt as though I hadn't a clue of where I would attend. I applied to 14 different colleges, and Sewanee ranked at the bottom of my list. I had lived in a rural community for all of these years. Why would I subject myself to that again? However, I still applied and began to think about what I really wanted from my college experience. It was then that an email came to my inbox. I was accepted into Sewanee and could apply for the Bonner program if I wanted. I started to wonder if community service would be something I was interested in. I could help underfunded rural communities like the one I came from and preserve that piece of myself through college. So I applied along with Clara Rominger, who lived across from me that year. As me and Clara walked back to the dorm from our senior softball night, we got the email. We got into Bonner. It seemed clear that I was going to Sewanee and was going to be a Bonner. During my time at Sewanee, I've worked closely with 2 sites. The first being New Life, a program for adults with mental disabilities that helps teach them life skills. I was a site leader at New Life for 2 years, and it brought me an immeasurable amount of joy. However, my heart was not in it. I felt more closely drawn to the other site I attended, which was Blue Monarch, a nonprofit residential rehabilitation facility for women suffering from substance abuse along with their children. Through my time at Blue Monarch, I have mentored around 8 different children and grown close to nearly all the kids at the site. Some of these kids were babies when I started to attend as a freshman and are now in pre-K. Oftentimes, it felt exhausting as I aimed to help kids with the same issues I struggled with. However, through my time at this site, I've been able to watch these kids develop important emotional regulation skills, like how to express anger without being hurtful or cruel, and how to calm oneself internally, all the things that I myself also struggled with. I watched them want to shut others out, but slowly let me in. Through just being with these kids, I realized one of the biggest gifts you can give someone is just your company. I was never really the person who went out of my way to make friends or surrounded myself with others. However, as I mentored them, I realized that I wasn't nearly as alone as I thought. I also grew close to the moms at this facility, which I never expected when I began working at the site, as I silently judged the mothers grappling with my own issues. This site has allowed me to heal in many immeasurable ways, and I'm grateful for all the things I learned through my work there. Through all these amazing people I've met at my time at Sewanee, like the kids at Blue Monarch, I've learned that not everyone leaves, and that I am far more capable than I ever thought I would be. I met a wonderful guy who's stuck by me for nearly 4 years. I've made impeccable friends at the coffee shop I work at and through the Bonner program. I even held 2 leadership positions in my Greek organization, Kappa Delta. As I look towards the next chapter of my life, I'll be taking a gap year to study for the LSAT. During that time, I hope to continue with service work wherever I might end up, in particular with groups like Al-Anon. I also hope to continue to support my mom's recovery as she marks her 8th month of sobriety on May 28th. Thank you, Sewanee, and thank you, Bonner, for all you have given me.